The question of fair hearing is about when you are called upon to make a judgment on an issue, it must be done with no form of bias. So from where I was coming from, he already had made statements, he was already being biased. And what we only asked him to do yesterday was to step down and allowed somebody else to take that proceeding. And those were the conditions that we set for him. The second condition was, in the affidavit put before them by the petitioner, one of the paragraphs had talked about Senator Natasha coming to bring documentary and other sources of evidence that she has. So we then asked them, because it would make no sense for him to appear before them, make all the declaration according to the affidavit without having a principal witness, his principal witness, to come to the panel to speak. So we directed them to that paragraph of his petition, and that they should give a ruling, because if she is not coming, he is not the one who was sexually harassed. It would be right for the person who made the allegation to be there. So we wanted them to make that ruling, and that was where the problem started. Now, the attitude of the panel was not what you would expect from any responsible chamber in the world. We got there, things like, you didn't set a ground rule. When you come into a panel and you have some ground rules or you have some rules in your National Assembly rule, you should tell us. At the point we were telling them, we were raising up our hand, which is the normal thing that everybody will do when you have something to say. They will say, no, you cannot raise up your hand. You cannot talk off the mic. There were a lot of things there. So we had to ask them at the point and said, can you please explain to us, if we want to speak, what you think we should do? They were not friendly. And it was like they already had a plan. And so what they wanted us to do was just to walk into that plan. And we went there, with free mind, and we just realized that they were not going to cooperate with us. So right from the beginning of the conversation, we had issues with them. We raised objection. You said no. The guy cannot, the petitioner cannot raise that objection without taking the oath. And we said, but we wanted to make some preliminary statements so that we would know whether to even take the oath or not. And they said, no, we can't even say anything without taking the oath. So at the point we had to say, okay, petitioner, go ahead, so that we can have a right to speak. Dr. Obi wanted to make it, she also came in as a witness. So we had our witnesses lined up, to the matter. So she asked, can she take the oath now? They said no. So it was more or less like they had a plan not to even allow us to speak. At the point, they were insinuating a lot of things. We're a serious panel. We don't want unserious people here. Quite disrespectful. And speaking to us as if they were speaking to some slaves that they brought. So for me, one of these things that this is showing, that because at that very high level, of people who are making decisions in this country, to have people there who are so patriarchal, who don't mind the kind of language when you're speaking to people in public, who don't give respect to citizens, was not something you would expect,
It was not a part of your expectations yesterday.
It wasn't.